All right, I did this for you all. I rode until the gas ran out on the Triumph Trident 660. And excuse the rooster in the background. I'm in farm country, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. That's pretty common. Yeah, I'm stopped at a beautiful place called King's Homestead. It is Sunday. It's closed on Sunday, as is most Amish Mennonite stores in Lancaster County, to celebrate the Lord's Day of Rest. So here we are. I ran it out of gas, as you can see, no bars, and 145 miles. So you probably don't want to go more than 140, maybe 130 before you start really looking for gas if you don't have spare. Luckily, I have a little bit of a spare tank, at least to get me to the gas station up the road here. So yeah, well, about 140. Maybe you could probably stretch it to 150. I was doing some little bit of aggressive riding today, so I'm sure that affected the gas mileage. But that's about what you're going to get on the Triumph 660. So I would not try to go more than like I said, 130, 140. Give yourself a buffer so that you can get gas if you're not carrying any reserves with you. But yeah, this is the bike. Let me just step away, show you. This is my new toy, and I'll show you some of the things that I've done so far. So I put these, I think they're Puig, not sure how you pronounce that, but these are really nice. They have rubber inserts, so when you're on the road, you can just put the rubber inserts, try to help get vibrations down, and then if you're a little bit off-road doing some dirt stuff, you can, not that you really would be doing that on this bike, but they have a nice surface area too. You can pull the inserts out and you get that more aggressive dirt bike type pedal. But yeah, so I did that. Let's see what else I did. I put these bar ends, a company called T-Rex Racing. I like them. Really nice, got them on eBay. These aftermarket levers are foldable, adjustable. The Dart windscreen, really like this. I think this is called the Piranha. There's two styles of this. This is what I think they call the Piranha. Let me turn the bike off. So that's the windscreen or Flyscreen. The levers, the bar ends, the foot pedals. Oh yeah, this thing. This is really cool. Found this on eBay. Just gives you more surface area for your kickstand. Sorry, hit the button by accident. Gives you more surface area with the kickstand. I really like it. Again, that was just a pretty cheap part from eBay. Came from China, but it does the job. It's really good. It's made of aluminum. And then from the factory, we did the quick shifter. Hey there, roosters. I know you're coming to see me. Here, I'll show you my guests. Here's our guests. They want to ride too. Alright, so getting back to the bike, we got quick shifter from Triumph, and then I did the heated grips. Oh, these are awesome when you're riding in the cold weather. I love them. They get pretty hot too on the highest setting. They have 3 levels of adjustment. And then we got the Bluetooth unit in here. So let's show you. They have only 382 miles. Let's show you the Bluetooth. Yeah, so that's part of it. Navigate Triumph app. So you install, I think it's called My Triumph app on your phone, and then you pair that with the Bluetooth on the motorcycle, and you can actually get turn-by-turn navigation in the screen. It's pretty awesome. Let's see. Go to main menu. It basically opens up all of these options under Bluetooth. When you get this module installed, you can listen to your music. I have a Sena headset in my helmet, so I can listen to music, get calls, notifications, so like text messages, you know, stuff like that. You can get that to display. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much everything that I've done so far. Just for comfort, I put one of the Air Hawks. I put these pretty much on every bike I have. It's a air bladder in there. And then I have the Ogeo, some kind of, you know, some storage, because this thing has absolutely nothing. So I put that on here. I get my phone in here. Like you saw earlier, I had my my reserve tank of gas. And yeah, I've had this bag for a long time. It's been on multiple bikes. I absolutely love it. Super durable, but you could see in the sun it starts to fade. This was originally black like this, so you could see it. Hey, there he is. Hey, buddy. Hello. Yes, thanks for coming over. Yeah, we're doing a bike review. This is a really good spot. I think I'm going to use this location. I should give you a wrap around here and show you. We bought a lot of furniture, our family here, from King's. So they make a lot of, like, you got your outdoor patio. You got some really nice sheds that they make here. Just beautiful furniture. Then inside the building, you have all your house furniture and stuff like that too. So just a beautiful place. Really good quality. Everything we've ever bought from King's has always held up really well. Just really nice family that owns it too. Yeah, but this is the property. It's beautiful. What a beautiful place. You can bring the kids here. They got feed the fish in the back. Yeah, so maybe some other time I'll do a more detailed overview when they're open. But I do love this place. Hey, look at these guys. They're just hanging out. It's always nice to have company. So I think that pretty much wraps up everything that I've done on the bike. The biggest thing, and it's just so darn expensive, because you can't get a slip-on for this for an exhaust. You only can purchase, from what I can see, full systems. So, you know, you're going to go from the headers right here all the way back. And the lowest cost option that I can find is like $1,000. And usually they're shipping from either the UK or Italy. So I think GPR was one of the companies. Akrapovic, I think, is like $1,600. Aero was like probably the same, $1,400-$1,500. So I'm just waiting to see what I'm going to do there. I do want to get something a little bit louder, but nothing obnoxious. This exhaust note's actually pretty decent, but it's quiet. And I'm sure that has to do with all the Euro 5 and emissions. And look at that big monster box there, you know, catalytic converter and all the crap they put in there. So it's extra weight. It's really, you know, in my mind, probably restricting the airflow and taking away some of the performance. So yeah, so that's my next, really the only thing that I want to do to this bike is just the aftermarket exhaust, and I'm pretty much done then. But I do love it. Alright gang, I'm here and I just figured, you know, if it was me and I was looking for some information on installing this Dart Flyscreen on the Trident 660, I would be pretty upset because it is a pain in the butt to get installed. So what I wanted to do is make a video and just show you give you some visuals and some tips and tricks to try to make this a little bit easier. The model number is TRT41M, and this is the Dart Piranha Flyscreen in black. You can see right there, and there's the SKU. Let's start with why is this so hard to install? Well, it has to do with the mounting position. And if you look, there's two bolts that attach to the yoke. And you can see one of them pretty clearly, but there's actually two on each side. Sorry, two on each side. One on the left, or two on the left and two on the right. So you can see the one pretty easily. You can actually see that even with the headlamp assembly in its normal position. But then the other one, and I'm going to try to get in here, is way back here where my finger is pointing, and it's behind cables that are nicely zip tied and everything organized neatly from the factory. So we need to get to this bolt and this bolt all the way back here. Let's see if I can. There you go. You should see that now. So those are the two bolts that you have to get to on the left and the right side. What I did to make this easier was, first, there's a 14mm screw right here. I just loosened that up, and that allows the headlamp assembly to tilt down. Now what I want to make sure is that even though it's tilting down, I want to keep it in its original position. So I put some tape here, painter's tape, and you can see I drew a straight line so that when it comes back, I can then align it to the same position it was from the factory. Alright, so then you just put a small slice in there, headlamp comes down. You don't have to remove this cable. It'll just hold taut there, just like that. And then what you want to do is there's a plastic piece. It looks like this. That covers this harness. I'll put that back in there. Okay, so this goes in here, and then it squeezes on both sides. This will not come out. This plastic cover will not come out unless the headlamp assembly is actually in the down position. Because what happens is you try to tilt it up like this, and it only goes so far because of where the headlamp is. This has to come down for you to hit the full position that allows it to release and come out. So again, squeeze the two sides, pull up after the headlamp assembly is down. To make things easy, I disconnected this wiring harness to the display. Just move it out the way. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these zip ties right here, and there's one here, and then I'm going to move these wires out the way so that I can get easy access to the bolts that are here that we need to use for the mounting. Stage 2. So let me show you a couple things that I missed in the first stage of installation. The windshield's going to come like this, and there's two models. There's the Dart Piranha, and I think it's called the Dart Standard. It's a little bit taller than this one, but I just thought the Piranha might actually look a little bit aesthetically more pleasing on the Triumph, so I went with this one. Now you'll see there's holes in here, two holes on each side, and you have to install these rubber grommets right here. So I just installed those. That really was step one in the instruction manual, but I wanted to point that out. So they were really easy to get in. It's actually easier to work it from the back side versus trying to do it on the front. This is the back of the windshield. This is the front. You could tell the front, it has the Dart logo right there. So to make life a little easier, work the back side of these, work the grommets in from the back side, I should say. All right, so let's see where we are with stage 2. Now, those 5mm hex bolts right there, there's 4 of them. Here's one hole, here's another hole, and then there's another one. You can see I left the last bolt right there on the right side. Now, the reason I did that is because those 4 bolts, that's all that holds this plastic mounting bracket for the LCD display. So if you take all 4 out, you're gonna have a pretty bad day, because the whole thing's gonna fall down and it's gonna be a nightmare. So I took the 2 out on the left side, right here. The front ones, these 2 are really easy to get out. The back ones, what I would suggest is just tilt the steering wheel, or the bar, I should say, not the wheel. Still tilt the bar like this, right there to the extreme where the, you're basically hitting the stop, and work it in from the back right here. So I'll show you what I mean. Where did I put my hex key? Okay, yeah, so this isn't the one I'm using, but I'll show you, give you an example. You're working it in from here. Now what you got to be careful is you need something long enough to get in there. That's why this was not a good option. So let me go get the other one. Here we go. So here's a 5mm hex, long enough to get up in there. And what I did was I put a piece of painter's tape, and I did that because you're working so close to the fork, metal on metal, you don't want to scratch it. So when you're up there working the hex bolt out and it's turning, there's a good chance you could come across your fork and scratch it. So let's put some painter tape to protect that and avoid nasty little scratches on the forks. But so yeah, we have 3 of the bolts out, and I'm ready to start installing the mounting brackets. So let me show you what the mounting brackets look like. They look like this, and the way they go in is, let me look at the diagram. Let's move this away so you can see what I see. Clean this up a little. Yeah, so that's how they install. So this guy's going to go in like this, and then this one is going to go in like that. So, sorry, I'm trying to hold the camera at the same time. But yeah, this is how it goes in. So let's focus on this side. It's going to look something like this. Okay? Standoff goes above the bracket. So you see how the standoff is above the bracket, and then the screw is going up through the bracket, through the standoff, and then finally into the mounting position on the yoke mount, the plastic yoke mount. Actually, I think it's actually the threads are in the yoke. Yeah, they are. So this is how it goes. Standoff above the bracket. Make sure the orientation is correct, because it is illustrated in the instruction manual. So for me, the easiest reference point is I want this part, the bend, to be pointing inwards on both sides. So it'll look like this when it's done. Okay. All right, both sides, It's like these are flaring out. The mounting brackets that mount to the actual windshield, they're flaring out, not in, as you can see right here. And then this is like your reference point. Okay, so like that. I'll come back once I get them both mounted. All right, I have the two brackets on. You can see this is what it looks like going out. So this is it. Here's the windshield installed. 4 bolts, really easy. There's a washer you're putting in on the front side here. And I think it really does clean up the front a lot. I'll show you how we did the alignment. So when I reinstalled, or I shouldn't say reinstalled, but when I tightened the headlamp down, just made sure we're back in alignment. So I can pull this painter's tape off. I wish there was a mark from the factory. That would have been a little bit easier, but it's okay. All right, today's going to be a fun project. We are working on changing the oil, first oil change on the Triumph Trident. And got all my supplies, just been waiting to cross over that 600 mile threshold. I think I have a little bit over 700 miles right now on the bike. So I'm ready for the first oil change, and I want to walk you guys through it. All right, we're going to get started here. I have an 8mm Allen wrench that didn't have it what the drain plug. It wasn't in the manual. So I grabbed an 8mm and it seemed to be right. First try, I just got lucky. Let's get that drain plug out. The other thing I'll mention is I did heat up the engine. Ooh, there we go. It's in there pretty good. I did heat up the engine and let it heat up for a little bit warm up a little bit per the manual. So let's get this drain plug out. It's probably going to be hot. There we go. Alright, so there was 2 things that I wanted to bring up in the manual. The manual in the back, it's not in the oil section, the maintenance section for oil changes. It's in the back in the specifications. It tells you, it calls for an oil filter and change. You want to use 2.8 liters or 0.74 gallons. If you are only changing the oil without the filter, it calls for 2.6 liters or 0.69 gallons. So these are 1 quart each, 946 milliliters. So almost 3 of them, almost 3 of them for an oil filter change. Oil plus filter change, to be clear. And then the other thing interesting is it's calling out specifically on page 104 for maintenance of oil change. It's calling for fully synthetic. So it does say, hey, here's what we recommend. We recommend Castrol Power 1 Racing 4T or Castrol Power RS Racing 4T, fully synthetic. Again, the weight they're looking for is either 10W40 or 10W50. And that's on page 104. All right, so we got the original oil filter, and I hope this is the original. This is part number T12180001, and it actually comes with a crush washer as well. So let's break this bad boy open. Yeah, it looks the same. And here's the crush washer. So we got a crush washer. We got the original OEM filter. And let's see if there's a part number on the filter itself. No, not really. When I was playing this on video earlier, I thought about it. I was like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. it says here on page 103 of the Triumph Trident owner's manual, it says tighten the oil filter to 89 foot-pounds in 10 newton meters. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make... I was thinking about it when I was saying it earlier, and it didn't make any sense. Because 10 newton meters, that's not 89 foot-pounds at all. You know, like 13 newton meters is about 10 foot-pounds, somewhere give or take. So that seems really off. So then I look at the oil filter itself, and on the oil filter, both the old and the new, it says tighten to between 8 and 10 newton meters. So that's hand tighten. You know, I don't need a torque wrench. Hand tighten the oil filter. Get it to, you know, where it feels pretty comfortable. Don't over tighten it is the key here. But 89 foot-pounds, just a word of caution, if you ever actually try to tighten your oil filter to 89 foot-pounds, I think you're going to have a really bad day. So Triumph, I think you got a typo here, so it should be corrected. 10 newton meters, between 8 and 10 newton meters for the oil filter. 25 newton meters or 18 foot-pounds. Let's take a look at that. This is for the oil drain plug. So if I go to 25 newton meters on my torque wrench, 20, where's that, 25, and yeah, that's about right. So that next calculation, or that next specification, I should say, for the oil drain plug, 18 foot-pounds or 25 newton meters, that's right. But the one for the oil filter, it's not 89 foot-pounds in any world. So stick with the 10 newton meters. If you have to convert 10 newton meters, that's probably, you know what it probably was? They probably meant to put 8.9 foot-pounds, and the period is missing. I bet you that's what happened. What I believe. All right, so let me get back to this. I did want to update you on that, and let's fill her up. Oh, gloves, gloves, gloves. All right, so the oil change is done. I have about 2 3/4 quarts in there. I have the oil plug or oil fill plug tightened. I have the dipstick tightened, dipstick plug. I've tightened all of my my oil filter and my drain plug. So now everything's level. So I do have it on a not on the side stand, but on a paddock stand. So what I'm going to do is turn it on and let it idle for a little bit. You can see I have 700 miles. All right, we're going to check the dipstick and see how we're doing here. I just let it idle for about a minute. Now, just to show you, there's two lines here. You got your top line here, your upper line, and your lower line. You actually want it to be at the top line. That's the ideal per the service manual. If it's lower than the lowest line, you want to add some oil And hopefully I didn't go too high. That's what I fear, because I don't feel like draining anything out. So let's see where we are at. Oh, we are low. Yes, we are. Let me check that one more time. And that's okay. Yeah, I only put 3/4 in. Or 2/4, sorry. So 2 3/4. Yeah, definitely. It's right there. So let's go ahead and add some more. All right, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable. We got this thing done. I got the oil in there. All right, so we're just kind of doing a walk around here, making sure there's nothing leaking on the floor. Let's go over on this side. Yeah, it's looking good. Nice and dry. I'll get in there so you can see. There we go. Nice and dry. Not oil leaking. Letting it settle. And then I'll check the level one more time. But so far so good. Painless.